main reward, source of mutants found in this particular area of Redmond, big reward. And as you guys are chatting about it, a user joins your channel. And you guys kind of start to realize it's the Joe Grisham who posted the reward. Up to you guys. What you doing?
Sorry, it was in Redmond.
Right? Hey, old man! You're the one that posted this here reward. You want to tell us a little bit about what's going on up here so we can do ourselves a job and get paid?
Holy shit! They let this guy on the hub.
That is something that you guys should be thinking about the entirety of this. But yes, this guy is on the hub for one reason or another, which is a curiosity in itself. But he goes, yeah, I've been keeping constant surveillance of the Barons for educational purposes, and one of my aerial drone sweeps across a particular area, they came up with what I can only describe as mutants. And he pulls up some AR footage from above, so you don't have the best footage in the world, but these people look like they've got tentacles, maybe one too many limbs, or they're just...
Whoa, did you say tentacles?
Yeah. Or
no.
they're otherwise just put together a bit funny. He's like, normally this kind of thing I'd go in for myself, but my meat suit's currently in the shop, so to speak. So I'd appreciate it if I had some strong, fine bodies check out what's happening here and what's the cause.
You make this in the shop, you go and have yourself one of them little accidents, lop off a limb or two. I've done that before.
Just a good old-fashioned tuning. You know.
You never had myself one of those.
Never needed to run faster?
Run faster.
Johnny, don't think there's enough money on the table to be dealing with tentacles here.
I just need to know the location.
I'm down. Yeah, just give us the coords, man. Take a look.
All right. So he'll basically just ping you guys data file with some GPS coordinates. There's not necessarily map coordinates that are still relevant because, let's face it, Redmond isn't exactly the most organized part of the city. So the streets that were there one day might be blocked off by a building. So you've got GPS coordinates and not much else. I mean, there are old map coordinates, but they're like 30 years out of date.
And how exactly did they get this footage? Like, cam drones or satellite? Like,
just some aerial drones. So, like, maybe some high-flying rotor drones.
Okay. Tentacles, huh?
Yeah, it looks like tentacles. It's this, very obviously stretchy, boneless mass extruding off one of them. Matrix perception on him. He's got a very standard icon. It's like as bland could be. It's almost the default for a Metalink.
Okay, so that was my next question was going to be, what is his device rating?
It is 1.
And he does not have a sleaze attribute, I'm taking it.
No.
Okay. Cool. Not a technomancer in disguise. Doesn't look like.
Doesn't look like that at all. So you guys have a location, you have some footage. What more do you guys really want out of this?
I'll be heading there to Redmond from Everett using a jackrabbit. Maybe earlier than usual. But I'm not so sure if anyone's coming with me.
Oh, Lash is already on his way. As soon as he saw that this guy pop in, he's been chatting it up and hopping on his Suzuki Mirage and heading straight on out to these coordinates.
Big guys, the thing, you can totally drive and talk.
Okay, that sound is really annoying. Whoever decided to throw their microphone in the blender should probably not do that again.
Yeah, that was a bit of an issue, but see how it goes. All right.
So, out of character, does anybody know? Does anybody say anything about taking the job to the Johnson
Well,
itself?
yeah, I'm thinking of heading out there. I already told Johnson I would go. Any of you guys heading that way?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I tell
got
Johnson
that
for
Sorry, I mean,
I tell
did he
Johnson for
specify?
the money. Sorry, go ahead.
Go, you first.
I just tell the Johnson for the money he's offering. There could be tentacles, 2 heads involved. I don't even care if the chummer has 4 limbs. I want in on the action, and I'm gonna just hop on my Suzuki Mirage and just start heading to the coordinates.
I just need to know the Johnson. Did he specify any time for it?
He didn't, but I imagine if he gets out of the shop, he'll go check it out himself. So if you take a week or two, he probably, he's probably not going to pay up.
Yeah. So, like I said, Everett to Redmond using Jackrabbit with everything I have.
So just roll me an edge if for. Oh, you're going from a nicer suburb out, so that won't be the issue really. I don't think you guys are going to come into any border patrols, leaving the nicer parts of the city.
No, it's only when I try to drive through the nice parts of is when they'll pull me over. Once I get to the gate, they'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Do some people live in Redmond, or?
All right, so the Lash is coming out of Auburn on his Suzuki Mirage. The whole time he's driving there, he's multitasking a little bit. He's got to get the latest combat biking matchup. The Atlanta Rebels played the Chicago Lightning, and he ain't seen that one yet. So that's playing in the corner of his eyesight as he's driving along, heading out to these GPS coordinates.
Yep. Lash, you've got something that I think people might get a bit upset if they ever found.
Yes.
So, and you're kind of driving on a bike, something out of the corner of your eye. So, can you roll edge for me?
I can do that.
All right. So, for whatever reason, you don't get pulled up. I mean, who isn't watching the latest episode on any vehicle? That's probably the only reason you're not caught. they're also engrossed in the game themselves that they didn't notice people are driving around on motorbikes, taking offside glances towards the game.
So Akimbo will be will be hitchhiking Stardust Cowboy from downtown.
All right. Which one of you has the least edge? And then we'll take. I think that might be you, Akimbo.
Wait, 3?
3 is the least. So you are a relatively lucky bunch.
Hmm. Okay then.
I mean, what are you driving on? Jackrabbit. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. So it's not even really going to be an issue. I mean, neither of you are carrying something that is terrifyingly illegal. I can see yet.
Tracy's coming in from Snohomish, but I'm gonna leave the more objectionable things or the most visible things on a little duffel bag on the bike. I'm not really taking a Raiden on my back.
Yeah, I don't imagine people airing the dirty laundry, so to speak, but I imagine it's more like if someone does pull you over, it's like a standard drink driving test or whatever, and then they, this is one of the things that could pull, but it's not really super issue.
Need me to roll edge anyway?
Sure, just for the hell of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Well, Shimmer.
Oh no.
Oh.
The problem is not entirely you getting there. The problem is it's your anniversary with your husband, and you guys have a fancy date coming up in like an hour, and you're like, God, oh God, oh God. So it's you. The real issue is how are you going to get out of your anniversary date?
Shimmer will very kindly ask if they could reschedule because he knows she's a runner and this happens kind of a lot.
You took a job on our anniversary. After
You are in so much trouble.
Then she calms down eventually, and she says, he says, wait a minute, I forgot Shimmer's the girl. Your husband says, we'll talk about this when you get home, and then just hangs up. Apart from that, your driver's fine. Just the foreboding silence of no messages from your significant other. Right.
So do me and Stardust roll edge on our way to Redmond?
Between Akimbo and Stardust. Akimbo, you've got the lower edge, so you can roll to see how all things go for you guys getting into Redmond.
So spend an edge to go to Redmond.
Oh, just roll 3.
Oh.
It's not a spend thing. It's a, how is fate treating you today?
Oh, come on!
All's going well. until it's just a routine check, sir. They just stop your car. It's just they've got to stop one in every couple of hundred cars that go into Redmond because chances are at least some of them are criminals. So for the most part, they really don't care, but they care enough that they make an effort to appear like they care.
Is it because of my scars? Seriously? I've been judged by my scars lots of time, okay?
Yep, it's totally on your heavy scarification. So basically the cop breathing down your neck, he's gonna start going through your vehicle.
Hey man, that's not necessary. Look, we can... I mean, he's had a tough break, but dude, like, the guy did 3 fucking terms. Give him a break. You even know how he got those scars? Motherfucker, are we speaking Slash right now? I didn't think so.
You wanna roll a
seriously, man.
con?
Sure. And
hey, do I roll con as well?
I have no skill in con, so I'm gonna pre-edge this.
This will be good.
First point of edge already, but I'm willing to do it to
the guy
make
doing
a good
wheelies
impression
on
on
his
Akimbo.
motorcycle while watching combat biking and carrying a mono whip managed to not get pulled over. What are you guys doing?
The officer...
First, we got to see if the orc on the Harley gets attention too.
The hip mustached KE officer says, "God bless America." Just wipes a tear out of his eye, and just carry on.
Dude, like Veterans Day was 3 days ago. This is the goddamn UCAS. Thank you. God bless. Fucker. After the car shot, stupid goddamn.
Alright. You guys gonna eat at
no problem.
where the hideous mutants are, or do you feel maybe you should meet a bit further away and get a game plan going?
This is why I'm actually going to have to drop the call for a second because I need to switch computers. But...
Oh, yep, that's totally fine. Oh.
I will be right back. Less than 5 minutes.
So, Harley orc on a motorcycle needs to get there too?
Oh yes. We're gonna get up off the nasty mattress, get out the trailer, throw the probably still warm can of Hurl that's on the banister, grab that, smell it. Yeah, that'll work. Drink that real quick, throw it back in the house, get on the bike, and let's go.
Alright, roll edge for breathing whilst orc.
Oh yes, most definitely. That is a crime in this country. Ha!
Haha. Thankfully, because KE is now employing a multiracial, multi-meta-humanic workforce, you only encounter orc and troll officers along the way. This is
nice.
So
it's probably got nothing to do with leaving the orc underground, because that's where they put them on.
Smooth ride.
How did the orc manage to get through? Huh?
No trouble.
This is weird.
Come on. The two most illegal people here didn't get pulled over, guys. Shame to you.
For real.
It's not like Lone Star is running security anymore, for the most part. If Seattle was just a big Lone Star security town, he might not have got away with it.
And I'm back.
Alright. So it looks like more or less everyone's got through.
Yep. I might not have a ride, but I will spend edge to make sure that the guy that is nice enough to give me one doesn't get pulled over. Night Air, bunch of fucking gits.
You
I told the Stardust Cowboy I was arrested, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're not too far out.
So do you guys have a game plan now that you're in Redmond, or is it just rock up to the ruined
All right.
cinema and hope for the best?
I got a couple ideas, but I don't think this is the right sheet.
I mean, Flash is, unless somebody else starts talking first in the DNI, Flash is rocking up and hoping for the best.
That's exactly the plan.
All right.
Yeah, I think we'll meet up physically at the location, then get a chance to figure out what exactly we're all doing.
All right.
Yeah, I get the feeling this could be just a terrible trap.
So,
What's the trap?
can people roll a mixture of roll their pilot, but limit it on the speed of your vehicle? Pilot groundcraft, yeah. And we'll limit it on speed of your vehicle and to see who gets there first.
Right, give me a moment. Where's my vehicle? 3 plus. Sorry, pilot groundcraft and
Just your regular pilot groundcraft dice pool, but limited on the speed of your vehicle. So, if you're driving a Dodge Scoot, it's unlikely you'll get there first.
Yep. Flash is on his Suzuki Mirage. He's got a speed of 6. So he keeps all 4 of those hits.
oh, come on!
All right.
Oh.
That's a great glitch, Johnny friggin' Kilburn.
Whoa,
No, John,
he's
that
right.
to dip his bike. I think I can use edge to negate that, right? That's a thing, or no?
You can.
No, you can drop it down to a normal glitch. Is all you can do.
Okay.
We,
Well, let's do that then at least.
so you were going to arrive late.
Okay.
Because, you're trying to find your way through the Barrens. Maybe you took what looked like a nice easy route, but maybe you're not as familiar with that section of the Barrens, so instead you came into what once was a large apartment building, so you had to go the long way around.
Yep. That works.
That's better than what a critical glitch would have been. Critical
I'm
glitch,
just wrecked my bike.
or you get eaten by fucking ghouls, vampires.
All right, so Chase gets there first, and this is kind of a mixed thing because you notice that you are not alone. He's got a Suzuki Mirage, so he gets to keep his hits. So you definitely arrive there first and you see a few freaks and geeks, people with beaks for mouths. All sorts of wonderful things.
How close are they?
Huh?
How close are they to where I am right now?
Well,
there's one sitting next to you in the passenger seat.
they're scattered around the old cinema, but roll perception and then maybe stealth to see if you want to hold back a bit, or if you see them before they see you, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just remember,
This is the car that
they're milling, so you're a bit easier to spot.
This is Akimbo's car, the one that I'm in, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna roll their stealth because. All right, so you definitely spot them before they spot you, and oh, wait.
Wow.
So, and you definitely managed to hide from the hideous hordes of mutants.
So,
I'm gonna
I'm
roll
shooting the
perception.
sideboard. I'm shooting the sideboard. The PM, like, guys, there's freaks everywhere.
When I say horde, it's more like 16 or so, but that's more than enough to concern one lone runner.
I have a question. Is this perception check, is it against someone using stealth or sneaking?
Kind of. I've rolled the pathetic 2 successes, so
But are they using sneaking against us?
yes.
Okay, so I can. That's all I needed to know.
Oh, that's a glitch there, Akimbo.
Yep.
And Defender goes. Tie goes to Defender, in which case the mutants win that.
I'm sitting next to Akimbo, looking for any threats as well.
All right.
And I got no hits. I got nothing.
So between the two of you, as you arrive more or less at the same kind of time, you get no successes. He gets successes, but he also glitches and he doesn't get enough successes to spot them before they spot him. So, you guys kind of drive right into it. Right into the middle before you notice that you're kind of surrounded.
Don't I arrive, or doesn't Lash arrive before Akimbo and Stardust?
He did,
Mhm.
but he hid. He hid.
He didn't Lash on anything yet. I haven't been asked to do anything.
Yeah, you've been asked to do anything. He hid successfully. These guys drove up and
Yeah.
drove into the.
Wait, no, he's saying that Lash hasn't rolled anything yet.
Oh.
He hasn't rolled his perception or
Yeah.
stealth yet.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, I got skipped over for that.
Chazy's the one hiding right now.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a little confusing because we've got 6 people on this run. But yeah.
I'm a bit of.
Yep.
Yeah, Akimbo and Stardust have been spotted.
Okay.
Lash also manages to not walk into it.
I'm actually really good at stealth, but I'm also driving. I'm just in the passenger seat, so there's not much I can do to hide us. I'm okay with this. Oh, shit. I did not roll my addiction.
So are we actually totally surrounded?
Yes.
Because if I can reverse, I'll just reverse the car.
Hold on.
They're starting to crowd around. They were starting to crowd around the car before you guys noticed. But you might have to reverse a bit. But they definitely know where you are.
Okay then. I'll just go to my smuggling compartment and take everything I have,
All
but not arm myself yet. Just just take everything I have.
Start snorting up that bliss, cowboy.
Yeah, well, I can take it at any point in the session. I'll let you know when I actually drop some bliss. And I have some, right? Fuck.
You need some. Don't
Wait.
suffer the penalty till you start having it.
Is that how it works? I'm not entirely certain. And it's Zen I'm addicted to, not bliss. But the threshold is the same.
Well,
So-
yeah, you'll suffer your mild penalty on. Is it mental? So it's -1 on mental activity, which
Okay.
isn't super bad. I mean,
Well, I'm a decker, but I tend to take that stuff before I start decking anyways. So it'll be fine.
you need skill before you get into decking. Alright. You don't need these things alive, and you have no idea if they're hostile. So,
Give me a moment. Go on.
for the two people stranded in the middle of a bunch of hideous mutants, what's the plan? Everyone else can come up with the plan as well, but these guys have a more immediate need for something to do right here and right now.
Okay. So, I'm just going to guess these guys don't have any wireless, but I'm going to check first. GM, I'm going to roll Matrix Perception.
Yep.
What am I at for penalties with the noise?
Well, there's only global grid and maybe -1 beyond that, simply because it's a bit of away from the nearest tower. But
Okay.
actually, that many other people on the network here, so it's not too bad.
Okay.
But
So I'm at 1 point of noise?
1 point, and then there's only global grid here.
All right. Well, I can thankfully compensate for that right now with my antenna. But, okay, if it gets any worse, then I'm going to need to start taking penalties.
Well, isn't
So
that
here-
your addiction? Global grid,
Yes.
not quite noise, it's just a -2.
Okay. So, here we go. Counting in my addiction penalties. Yep. Four hits.
4 hits? Alright. So,
4 hits on 5 dice. That's about as good as I can do.
that's about as good as you can do. And essentially, you'll notice, one, they do have some basic tech. In fact, some of them even have some surprisingly advanced tech.
Like, device rating 3 or device rating, 5?
It's not device rating. It's like they've got some sweet augments in them.
Okay. So,
But they've got maybe some other pistols. So despite what they're equipped with, which is all device rating 1 or 2, they've got some apparently
right.
high quality augs in them for some reason.
Well, the augmentations would still have a high device rating too, so that's interesting. I'm gonna. All right. And all right. Thank you. I will note that. Do I recognize? Because I got 4 hits in my knowledge skill for radical augmentations. Do I recognize this work that they've had done? Can I tell what?
Totally roll it.
Yep.
Because
Well, I did roll it earlier, and I got 4 hits. Here, I'll roll it again.
was it off board or?
It was when there was a lot of other checks, but I was doing that before I saw them, so I'm just gonna re-roll it.
Sorry.
I'll just re-roll it. It's no problem. Because I am a rock and roll scientist. 3 hits.
All right. These jobs reek of mad science all the way, and you notice that a lot of the orgs are a bit off shelf. They're not name brand, but they're someone's gone, wow, that's a cool name brand thing, and then they've tried to make their own.
Okay.
They may not work quite as well as functioned, or they may work in unusual ways, which come with their own advantages and disadvantages.
So the work of an enthusiastic independent operator. I am intrigued. And I will look over to Kimbo. You can see that Stardust is waving his hands and doing something with an AR, and his antenna are both glowing. Yeah, no, holy shit, these guys have some pretty far out tech. Looks like someone's been doing a lot of house mods on the OGs that they've got here. I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess, this isn't a natural phenomena. Like, we don't have to worry about toxic spills or like that weird Halley's Comet bullshit.
Okay.
So I can assume they are gonna be peaceful.
I wouldn't assume that. They just have high tech, dude. I've seen some guys with half a million New Yen worth of chrome slashed into them, and those people are anything but peaceful. Yeah, but no, I have no goddamn clue. Might be a good idea to stay in the car, though. I'm gonna try and send them a message in the Matrix.
Yep.
See-
Link.
I mean, seeing as I can spot these people in the Matrix, I'm just gonna send a message. Whoa, hi, how are you? We were just driving through, seeing what's going on. Please, and coming to see what you all have got going on here. Please don't eat us. I'm just gonna roll etiquette.
So, etiquette is a good thing to roll. All right. So, on the plus side, they don't eat you. But that doesn't mean that things are going particularly well either. Like, a few of them draw guns and they're still a bit suspicious. You know, asking questions like, who sent you here? Give us your money.
That second one is not a question, but I understand. I think I understand where you're going with that. I'm going to forward this to the rest of the team, letting them know that the natives are getting restless. And ask Akimbo, you don't have any armor plating on this thing, do you?
You mean the car?
Yes.
Nope.
All right. Now, Chase, you got there before the rest of them, and Shimmer? I think, Johnny, you're still going to be late for any kind of assistance. Which is, it's great. You're like...
Honestly, I'm going to be totally honest with you, Akimbo. I'm going to run pretty damn fast with these things. How about you? Do you think you'd make it better on foot or on the car? Because I'm thinking we might just want to split and see how we can't put some distance between us and these fine gentlemen.
So can I ask something? Akimbo and Stardust are in the car, surrounded by them. Chase and Lash are still as yet unseen.
Mm-hmm.
If Chase accepts, Lash start pointing Chase over to an area to stand and be ready, and we'll start slowly creeping into one himself to set up a dog pile if it comes to combat, which, with the successes I rolled on my small unit tactics, will give us a +2 to our first attack.
Chase gives you a short nod after you start signaling him to go somewhere, and I start heading there. Looks good to me.
And Lash will stay over DNA. It's a classic combat biking technique. We hit them hard, we hit them fast.
I'm going to take cover. I'm getting down in that car as fast as I can and like scrunching my legs up so I'm ready to run. Just burst out the door running.
For the moment, are they surrounding the car or not? Because if I have the space to go, I'll get out of the car.
There's definitely a very, circular vibe to how they're standing in relation to your car. I mean, there's some smallish gaps that, you could run through or push through or drive through, but
Yeah.
He can at least get out of the car without immediately running into tentacles, though, is the important part here.
Okay, I'll just hold up my hands and get out of the car. Slowly.
slowly.
I'm going to follow suit.
You guys could do a teamwork etiquette for this kind of thing to kind of not get them to realize your game plan. Because, who knows, you could try and pretend that you're willing to give them the car or give them your new yen or whatever have you.
They think I have money. That's adorable. I'm going to assist him with my etiquette.
I mean, your comlinks, your equipment's probably worth more than everything they have, so.
That's true.
Alright, Stardust, well done.
Oh, I didn't. I GM rolled that by accident, but yeah, no, 0 hits to assist with the etiquette. Akimbo, you're on your own. I hope Akimbo has etiquette.
I'm gonna edge that. Wow, that is just wow.
You got
Yeah.
smooth, casual, and as you carefully remind these low-dwelling mutants, armed. So, you know, two can play at the game of shooty, and you're taking it slow. You're not making any hasty movements because hasty movements end you in a gutter somewhere, no matter how fast you are. So you guys have managed to get out of the car okay, with the visible reminder to them that, this could go both ways for them as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we might want to make it known, not necessarily where the other people are, but that we're not alone? That might also help.
I don't know. You could give away your element of surprise for your.
I'm saying that over DNI to them. I'm like, guys, so I'm not exactly skilled in hostile negotiations. I'm gonna let you all figure this out. Let me know if I need to run or shoot things.
Just tell me where you are. I will come drive to you.
Surrounded by, I send him the eyes for the feed from my cyber eyes and our GPS location. Outside the theater, surrounded by mutants.
Okay, Shimmer is going to start driving there.
I was just checking your vehicle to see if it was a good idea to advise that. No. Because for some vehicles, vehicular rampage is a solid idea. Not so for the Jackrabbit.
I'm not going to
that's why I'm
run
going
into
out.
anyone.
So I'll be talking. Who's in charge here?
One particularly big one with 3 sets of eyes and a claw for a hand steps forward. And he, juts his claw towards his chest whilst keeping his gun carefully pointed on you.
I'll talk to him. Hello there. Let's introduce ourselves first. I'm Akimbo. You are?
Glur! I am the undeniable Glur, conqueror of some keyhole neighborhoods since my transformation.
These guys are articulate.
Lur. As you have seen, we are not here to harm you. We are just trying to check things out on what's happening here. And I can see this community is thriving right now, being active.
We are at the dawn of a new age.
You know what? I like these guys.
So, what's happening here? Why the sudden activities? Why is it so crowded here?
We used to use this cinema as a base of our small-time gang, but recently we got a blessing, to say the least. And it kind of turned our fortunes around. Suddenly, we haven't been having to rely on the mafia for food, water, and now we don't even have to rely on for muscle, strength, or protection.
Why don't we be civilized right now? Let's take the guns down and we can talk this out. I mean, we are
all-
civilized. Right?
We're all enlightened transhumans here, right?
Yeah,
Reaching towards a unified singularity of ascension.
You could add those 5, 6. Wait a minute. Just looking at your. You could be those successes to your etiquette pool. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I got 5 successes on transhumanist philosophy, but sure.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
So add three of those to my etiquette pool.
Yep.
Okay.
In your
Oh, just edge it, man.
mood.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna spin a point of edge on that.
All right.
Let's see there. I'm guessing these guys don't have that many dice to oppose us on etiquette. We might get lucky.
Yeah, they really don't. As they're. Well, that might happen.
Wow.
But anyway,
I love it.
it's going to kind of work out for you. And he's going to look at you, Stardust, and he says, I can truly see that you are one of us, a true visionary. So
I like to think so.
you must join us in our transformation.
I'll try anything once.
So they're going to start dragging you off.
Okay. Guys! Guys!
I would like to take this opportunity to come roaring in from a side street.
Let's see. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. Just follow along, and we'll see where exactly this is all heading. And then, if it comes down to it, you guys can come in blazing. I've successfully infiltrated the hive. You're welcome.
Haven't you ever seen a horror movie before, boy? I know exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna turn you into a damn pod person. Let's geek these guys and get paid already.
They need to. We'll have to get to the pods first, and then they can find out. I mean, I'm not a big horror guy, but I do watch a lot of sci-fi, and I know that getting captured is the first step every single time. Then comes the running for your life, and
That's
typically,
true. So find where them damn pods are, so we can blow them the hell up. We'll get bonus pay.
wonderful. I'm liking this plan.
All right. So
Yeah, just hold back, guys, and please, and just wait. Like, Stardust kind of lowers his hands just a little bit and is waiting for the sound of automatic gunfire because he's pretty sure it's coming at any second.
Akimbo, you can kind of go with him, or you can. If he's not as interested in you. You didn't spout off the bullshit direct that Stardust, spent his time working up. So,
Yeah, I'm following him.
I mean, yeah. It's got to be cool, right? So you notice that the theater isn't as in ruins as it looked even a few days ago when the aerial footage was taken. There have been some noticeable repairs. For one, most of the walls have been fixed up, so you can't just see through into the building anymore. And as you guys go through the doors, you notice that there's a running garden in here. Like, they've literally got a bunch of lights going through the ceiling, some hydroponic plants set up. These guys are growing their own food. It's impressive for a bunch of mutants. Yeah, and as you continue to go further, you see all sorts of things. There's, do you guys have any technical knowledge beyond your transhumanism?
I'm more to combat, so yeah.
There's hotels, sprawl life.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Most important quality a rock star can have.
Transhumanists, philosophy. Well, philosophy specializes in transhumanism. And I'm checking my active skills. I might have some active skills that actually. Nope, this guy does not have engineering of any form.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty flexible in what kind of things.
We'll go for sprawl life.
Sprawl life. Right. Oh, Shimmer, you're back. Back in action. All right.
I never left.
I wasn't entirely sure if you were like in function or
Oh, nice. Wow, that's a lot of hits on that invisibility check.
at least it's hopefully going to work. Right.
It looks like he's
Well,
something very.
So you are noticing that they are building some rudimentary power generators, some water purifiers. There's some fairly decent work that you'd see anytime after a big storm that they repair these things to keep a neighborhood running. But normally, once you start getting out into the Barrens, this kind of stuff, it just can't be maintained because there's not the knowledge base to keep it going. Rolling 6, hearing voices. All right. So the voices inside your head. No, basically, you can. There's definitely a community going, but you're catching all sorts of things about the Doctor. Apparently, so as you're going through, you're getting a definite vibe that there is maybe some sort of doctor, street doc, maybe a scientist. Someone's at the center of this change, center of this community.
I'll talk up to the one who's the one in charge. Who is this doctor?
Soon you will see. All glory to the Doctor.
Okay. That's yeah. This is getting a little cultish. I mean, typically transhumanism, there's more atheism and humanism in there, but I get where they're going with this. It's an itty bitty cultish, but their hearts seem to be in the right place, or probably not, actually. Poor choice of words.
All right, so you guys get into one of the main theater rooms, and there's kind of the screen's mostly intact, but it's got some tear downs, and there's some old movie playing, but the speakers are kind of off and a bit wonky. Stardust, can you do? You know that guys can tell that the audio is being altered somehow, but you're not, because it doesn't match up with what the things on the screen are saying.
Okay.
At all. And it's spouting off technical dialogue to these hideous mutants.
Okay.
And where there should be a bunch of seats, there's just kind of an open tunnel leading down, kind of like turning and spreading. And there's a bunch of blue lights glowing from there. Okay, judgy judge. What are you judging in particular?
The one who's escorting me's facial expression, if I can. from their face?
Pretty much indifference to you guys, but as he walks into the theater where the voice is playing, there's a expression of almost reverence.
Okay.
Astral projection now with the sensing. Cool. So Shimmer, you're floating around, you're seeing the faded lights of these people because they've been altered quite dynamically. In some cases, you question how much essence someone can really keep on losing before they become non-functional. And as you go further and further, you kind of notice there's a definite negative vibe. Like, whoever's at the end of this is almost giving off a negative background count with there's no way someone should be that orged and still be around, still be kicking.
Shit.
Just making you almost sick.
Well, that ain't good.
Okay. That sounds like astral hazing. That's bad.
It might be. Yes. Okay. So you can definitely sense it too, Akimbo. Like as you go further in, you can feel a definite malignant aura.
I am gonna call my air spirit to my side. For the inevitability that things will hit fans.
So I have to ask: is any one of them awakened?
Awakened? No, none of these people are awakened.
If they were, they're not anymore.
Yeah, no,
So are we approaching that?
yeah, you guys are
Dark place.
heading directly in the direction of this malignant aura.
Oh
Okay.
shit! I asked the one in charge again. Is it inside there?
He's like, of course the doctor is. There is nowhere safer than here.
Okay, just for a moment, is it possible for him to come out and greet us? Because somehow I have a feeling I cannot go in there for a while.
You can.
Sorry, just
He's and distract the doctor from his great works.
okay.
What would
Do-
it be?
Come.
I have a question, Val. What would it be? The role be to try and tell if I can make heads or tail of those technical specifications being spouted off of the audio I'll hear.
I just like a logic plus will test to try and make sense of them.
Logic plus will or logic plus intuition?
I'm gonna go with will because it's vaguely hypnotic.
Okay.
It's
I actually get more dice with that then. Cool.
resisting the ebb and flow of his smooth, comfortable voice.
2 hits.
Right. Therefore, everything from the power generators to high-end weaponry and cybernetics.
Okay.
Most of the everyday stuff is pretty bland and so, but the more it gets to non-civilian use, the higher end the technical specs go. But it just seems to be filtering through like gibberish. It's not a mana void you guys are going to, so you don't really have to worry about death, just slight disempowerment. At the very
Yeah, just it's still dark. I mean, pretty sure the guy in there is something.
Well, Well, if we're going closer to the source of the background count, that's bad for you. But I don't know about that at all yet, so I'm willing to keep going with these guys. He's mentioned the bio count or the background count.
All right. I'm going to flick slightly towards the rest of the team. Now,
Okay.
these guys are well and truly deep in the community. Did you guys try and follow them into the building? Because just because there's people there doesn't mean that you can't get around them. I mean, you're stealthy enough to avoid them initially, so maybe you guys can push a bit.
Yeah, Lash and Chase, actually, we've rolled stealth already.
Yep. There's just going to be... That's going to be able to get you through most of the chambers, but not into the cinema room itself, where that's going, because that's kind of big, open, and there's a fair few people there, so there's not really anywhere to hide. It's just like a gaping maw of people and a hole with some lights. But that's okay. So you guys will get through to there, and as some guard patrols go, you kind of fall into the screening room, so where the cameras and all that's set up, and it's completely empty in there. So it's a nice-ish place to stay and fiddle with things. If let's say plus 4 stealth. All right. All right, so sneaking does not go well, but it does not glitch, which just means it's a roll of resisting the magic, which it's force 4, so that should be pretty hard for these guys to... All right, so so they can hear you, but can they see you? No, they cannot see you. A few of your footsteps creak around, and maybe like a few door things. So but it's loud enough that with the technical music going on and whatnot, you kind of manage to get through, and you can be right on. You can be anywhere you want effectively because you're invisible, so you don't have the issue with their kind of sneaking around that you'd be walking through a crowd. What do you want to do with that shimmer?
How close can I get to the door with Mr. Doctor?
You could walk all the way up there, but the closer you get, the more your magic will start to fade. So maybe if you got there too close, your spells might stop working. In which case, it'll look like you suddenly appear once the background count gets too high.
Well, let's get as close as possible without having the lights flicker off, so to speak.
All right. So, since you got a decent sensing roll, I'll think that you kind of know how to judge this fairly well. So you'll be down in the pit, and you'll be maybe 40 or so meters away from the door itself.
Sure.
All right. Door swings open. Even you can see from as far away as you are the, typical mad scientist laboratory Tesla coils sparking. But really, only Akimbo and Stardust can see the full extent of what's in this room. There are bats with things floating in them. Someone is on a table, and there's a super high refrigerator going on, which has frosted over glass. It's on the and there's in the center of it kind of a gross thing in a lab coat with 6 arms, a few wheels. Multiple. He's got more eyes than is reasonable for anyone's count. He's long since stopped being anything vaguely metahuman. And he's tearing into a body on a slab and making some hasty modifications.
So, do we want to just take him out right now?
I don't know if we were
take him out
supposed.
at all.
I don't think we're
No.
getting paid to kill this guy. We have very different definitions of fun then.
So
This is
what do I see his
fascinating.
face?
Yeah, so you could leave now and say, yeah, we found some sort of scientist. He seemed to be making these people. But how does this kind of high-end tech end up in the middle of the Barrens?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, and I actually realized I wasn't rolling enough dice for this earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and roll Matrix Perception again on this guy and his equipment.
Yep. All right.
And if...
So
Is he running silent, first of all?
there's no need for him. He's got nothing to fear here. I mean, between the thick walls that protect most of this facility and some other protections, like, he doesn't have to worry about people outside the facility. And once you're inside, I don't think he's really worried about you either.
Okay. So what kind of devices does he have running then? Because I can see them all then,
Yep.
if he's not running silent.
I mean, some of his cybernetics don't have wireless enabled, but he's got some definite toys. Like, these are toys that some people would kill for the schematics of, let alone a physical copy of.
Okay. That's interesting. Anything with a sleaze attribute?
He is not a Decker in any shape or form.
Okay. What's the firewall rating of the most important high rating piece of device that he has on him?
It is 6. He's got a bunch of cords connected from him to some sort of device running into a wall from his neck.
Oh.
It's like a data jack, except a bit thicker, a bit more fancier, a bit more high intensity.
Like a badass data jack, basically.
Yes.
I'm going to attempt to hack that.
Yep.
And I'm going...
The definite source of the background count. But beyond that, you can't tell super much more with one success.
And what grid is all of his stuff running on? The public one?
It's not really... I guess it would be the public grid, yeah.
Okay. So I'm at -2 to this, but his defense will also be at a -2.
Yep.
So it kind of levels out. Hacking +1 +2. Oh, 10. Don't have great amount of dice to do this. I'm used to hacking in VR. And I'm going to optimize for stealth and firewall.
All right.
Let's see how well that goes.
All right, so you get through that firewall.
So I have a mark on his device.
You do.
All right, awesome. So now I'm going to do something I'm slightly better at. I'm forgetting something. No. I'm going to perform sniffer on him and listen to all the data going through that.
Yep.
Oh, and I'm gonna have my agent help me first.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
That's what I was forgetting to do. Sorry, I haven't played this character in a while.
No worries.
So the agent's going to assist. Sniffer. Oh shit, that's wrong. Ignore that. So we got 3 hits. So I'm rolling.
Does something insane?
And to resist that, he just rolls.
Just firewall?
No, he rolls firewall plus
Will take the
willpower,
All
I
right.
believe.
All right, so that is right, I think. Yes.
I'm
But
pulling it up now. I'm used to having my cheat sheet up, but
so you got a net hit, and
this is Snoop. Yeah, it's logic plus firewall. Is that the same?
you, but it's only an extra dice. I'll just roll that extra dice unless he gets a success on it. You're good. All right, so we're good. So basically, all the technical information is definitely going out, and but that's not really what's at core of it. Somewhere underneath all that signal, there's something else being sent in. That with the raw flow of, data, it's kind of messed up. It's too hard to find between his firewall and the rest of the data.
Yeah, I'm gonna just record everything right now, and I can probably sift through that shit later too. So, going to load fly on the wall, and just sit there and keep recording all of this shit.
All right. Now back to the present. You guys are going to get some radical upgrades in the not too distant future if something doesn't change about the current situation.
Yep. I figured that, but
several of the eyes kind of swivel independently of his head to look at you. Like they move around the head instead of him moving his head to point at you. And you just get some kind of surround sound voice. In the same voice as the speakers outside on the cinema, welcoming. He's like, welcome. New recruit. Do you want to join us in this glorious tomorrow?
well, we were considering it, but we don't know exactly what you're about. We were wondering if you had a brochure or something, maybe like one of those pamphlets that they leave out on buses.
Look, give him the standard pamphlet. And look at and he sifts through one of the nearby tables with, few organs, scalpels, a stock full of pamphlets. So, you're considering a complete upgrade. Something beyond humanity. He passes you one each. It's like, so, have you ever thought your body is too weak, too frail, not adaptable enough? Well, think about that no more. What of the science? You can do anything you can dream of. The cost? Joining our small community and assisting us for the greater good.
This is Diana. This is greater good.
Greater good.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, I'm down. Not necessarily with what they're talking about, but at least I get where they're coming from, and I'm gonna voice it. Well, that's really cool, and I'm totally behind you. You know, the human form, it's an engineered organism. It's our God-given right to alter and enhance it and go beyond its inherent limitations. I mean, look at me, man. I've had quite a bit of work done myself. I'm really behind what you're doing here, and again, I think it's just great. But I think I'm pretty much good. I've got kind of my own plan for my own organism. You know, my own master, my own destiny, controller of my own flesh, making myself in my own image, all that good stuff. So I'm really again into what you're doing here, but I'm gonna have to say I think we're pretty good. What do you say, Kimbo?
I'm okay. I just need to ask. Are these people turn by choice? I mean,
Well,
I'm
you know-
sure that this is science we're talking about, but I'm looking at what you call it in scientific terms, mutations.
Ah, a common error, my friend. This is simply some fine bioware and cyberware. A bit unorthodox, I will admit, but this comes from me, one of the greatest minds in the field. Not that you'll see my name in any papers, as I've kind of been a bit underground for the past few years.
I'm actually, I'm a bit underground. Some of my ogs too, and some of the people I've talked to, I might have heard some of the same people.
If you want to... Is that
Would
are you going for like a knowledge, like etiquette, or where are you going with this?
either transhumanist philosophy or radical augmentations. I'm guessing radical augmentations would be the skill for this, though, right?
Yeah, radical augmentations would do.
2 hits.
You did. All right. So,
Have I heard of this guy? But maybe before he went absolutely, totally batshit.
you haven't heard of White Sky, but you've got some vaguish rumors along the grapevine. You've heard of what can only be called a cyber zombie street doc. Who
Okay.
is part of like the Universal Omnitech Aztec research things. Like it's like far out rumors, the crazy stuff that no one talks about. It's
You didn't used to work for Omnitech, did you?
with that, the calm blue lights that were swiveling on his head shift to a darker hue of red.
Oh,
Some of the scalpels that make things kind of stop reaction various components to this now half transformed being on the table and point aggressively in your direction. Yeah, it's like, where'd you get that idea from?
you hear shit through the room or drag through the grapevine. Like a lot of what you're doing here sounds like something a couple people from Omnitech from that corporation used to kind of get involved in. But I'm guessing not a fan.
Fan isn't the word I'd use. I was being shifted from one asset to another, and let's say the people who were shifting me didn't make it. And
Self-extraction.
but I'm afraid I can't really have this rumor spreading any further.
Well, I'm not one to repeat rumors. What about you, Akimbo? You want to repeat gossip? No. Right?
Before we do anything, I'm kind of peckish. Why don't you just take this conversation to a better place? I mean, I'm really hungry right now.
Okay.
You'd call it a smile? I mean, it's on his chest, that gaping maw, but it's a smiling gaping maw on his chest. And he's like, oh, good, I've worked out this wonderful agricultural system throughout the cinema, so you can try some of our fresh-grown produce.
Why don't would get this into the dining room then? You do have a dining room, right? I mean, this place is, sorry to say, it's kind of dark. I know you're busy and all, but why don't we eat first?
Yeah.
At least talk like gentlemen.
So he kind of quickly sews up the body on the table and kind of shoves it into one of the green glowing pods, like glass chambers. I'll finish this up later. And he wheels himself through the tunnel. So you guys I'm assuming you're going to follow him. So, and as he moves, the negative background count moves with him.
Oh, shit. Well, wait, are we going up to the surface first?
You guys are probably going to go somewhere else in the complex, yeah.
I may be exposed here. Is there any
Give me a moment.
feasible way I can move out of the way?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's going through the same tunnel you are, so you can just keep on walking backwards and try and outpace him.
Good.
But you don't know where he's turning, and eventually it's going to start relying on your ability to navigate the building in a good way.
Wait, before that, let me at least park my car. I mean, I just left the engine on. I need to turn it off for a while.
I can't, afraid, let you leave this building until we've settled any potential of you talking to your friends.
It's okay. I mean, I understand what you're trying to do, but it's my car. I got it loan. I'm on a loan right here. I haven't finished paying it. At least let me park it somewhere else.
I'm sure that if you gave the keys to Lur or one of my gentlemen, we could park it somewhere very safe indeed.
Sorry, I mean, not to be possessive and all, but it's my car. I don't actually let anyone else drive but me. So, again,
Well, you
sorry, but
could leave it where it is, let us park it, or I can put you in a ditch. I don't have
well,
games.
at least let me get something first, please. I left it in the car.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Akimbo.
Seriously, I mean, it's my lucky charm. You want me to go everywhere without my lucky charm?
One of his eyes swivels towards Lur, and he goes, "You know what to do."
You know what? It's fine. Fine. I'll just follow you. Just at least let me take a last look at my car.
Suddenly, in the AR, see this grainy image of your car and a few people standing around it, smoking, drinking.
My God, what are you doing with my car?
They're not in your car.
You're touching my body. The car's body. Oh, God damn it! Why? At least call them to get out of the car. God, why?
So Shimmer,
Why you?
this is giving you some time to get away. This incessant conversation about his car. Where have you headed in the attempt to not end up reappearing on everyone's radar?
Well, first of all, I'm trying to skirt around the outside of this horrible, horrible aura. But if I can't, I'll, when in doubt, broom closet.
You should be able to stay ahead. Like, you should be able to get, like, a fair bit ahead. But because you're kind of preempting where they're going, you don't know where exactly they'll be going. So, maybe in navigation or something? Perception, and you can try and smell out the kitchen.
Oh, perception, that'll work.
I mean, you can't see where the thing is, but you can't smell it. All right. So that should be enough to lead you to the kitchen before, and hopefully the dining room should be near there. So you should be able to use that time to get to the dining room, kitchen, or somewhere appropriately nearby before they arrive and your bubble disappears.
Is there any chance I could have line of sight?
The dining room and kitchen aren't that big. So if you do, you're accepting that when they come into the room, they will be able to see you.
I could hide under the table, but I don't trust my sneaking dice that much. So I guess I'll stay in the kitchen.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, Idea and I, Chase, try to get yourself near the entrance. I'm trying to get out of it from, trying to detach from him at the entrance.
So what are you trying to get Chase to do?
Anyone who's near, get to the entrance. Might be me and Stardust might be escaping from there. I'm not trusting this guy. He's really, really, really leave a bad taste in my mouth. Yes, get ready for a fight. I do not like this guy, even though he has a thriving community. But that guy is not a good leader.
He's a little bit brainwashy.
Yep.
Quick thing, what's the background count where I'm at exactly?
Maybe I'm going to possibly say 2-ish. I mean, unless you're in close proximity, where it'll be maybe 3.
2 is fine.
So yeah, as long as you're not standing super close to him, which Akimbo is. And I think if you're touching him, hugging him, it's around 4. So try to avoid that. Got successfully sneaky.
I just noticed there's no face here.
Who needs a face?
Well,
I'm sort of a face.
yeah, later.
Muscles.
We'll have Lur become the leader if he willings. So we need a face for it.
I'm not overly concerned with that. I mean, this guy did kind of build this place from the ground up.
Who needs a face when you got Johnny Fraggin' Kilborn?
Yeah. I'm not trusting that.
I think we should go with whichever option here leaves the least bloodshed and doesn't involve Kilgore blasting the place with heavy weapons. What are you packing, Johnny?
Submachine guns.
Okay, that's actually not so bad. I was worried it would be a little bigger. Yeah, we should be cool.
You don't rock grenade launchers. I haven't got the underbarrel attachments yet.
Okay,
No.
cool.
Lash is your big gun.
Lash is a big gun. All right. Well, I think we should be able to talk them out and get out of here. And we've got a decent report for Johnson. Hell.
No, he's gonna turn me into a mutant. I can feel it.
You pretty much told Akimbo, I can't let you warn your friends. This isn't going to go well.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, he did say that.
Oh, before that, I'll talk to the one that doctor guy. let me at least give my keys to my associate here. At least he can park the car. I mean, you have your guys outside who can watch him. Frankly, right now, I'm more used to him than you guys driving my car.
Yeah, we go way back, right, Akimbo?
Yep. Yep.
Like,
They might be able to watch you, but what's to say that he won't run?
Oh no, he won't run. I mean,
I'm not gonna leave him
he
behind.
likes you.
Well, I like him, and I like you. I'm not gonna leave him behind. I wouldn't
Yeah.
ditch on my man Akimbo or on you fine gentlemen in your establishment here.
You want to roll con? Because I doubt he'll fall for this because it's not exactly his first rodeo.
All right, I'm gonna roll to assist.
It says fast
So
talk.
will I.
Yeah, I'm not giving you any help.
Prove to him that, you guys care enough for each other that... no. Oh, Shimmer's giving advice on the con. Alright. The long con.
So this
Okay,
is fast
so-
talk or just normal?
That's 4 dice to Akimbo's attempt. Akimbo, you've actually got to roll whatever your con, but you can add up to your con. 4 up to your con. Where's your con, actually?
Right, I'll be fast talking this.
Plus
Not with leadership.
Alright.
If it's a teamwork test, he can add up to 4. If it's leadership, he just adds the 4.
Oh, yep.
Busted.
So it's 7 then.
Uh, 7 plus is 4. So it's 11.
Oh, okay, 4 more.
Yep. That might work slightly better for you. Might not.
Yay!
We'll judge what you're saying.
Oh, come on!
I'm afraid I can let you do that. I was extracted by Shadowrunners. I know your games. I know your tricks.
Fine. Okay? Let's just get to the kitchen first. I mean, seriously.
Alright. Like, I'm gonna... Like, chase Lash, do you guys want to free up the car, cause a distraction, hightail it out of there, rescue your friends? You're just content to watch this all on. And, of course, that high-quality sports game.
I got told to wait for the signal, so I'm waiting for a signal.
Yep, I will give the signal later. If we are at the entrance, at least give us the way to escape first. Out in the opens, so they will be, I don't know, cornered at their own place.
Alright.
So where are we now?
So you guys will continue. You don't really go that close to anywhere, really. So to describe the cinema, there was the entrance room where you see your tickets. Then past that, there's like a corridor. Then there's like the food and snacks place, and off to the side, which has been kind of turned into a power room. And off to the side of that, in the staff room, there's a kitchen dining room area.
Are we at the entrance first? Near the entrance.
You're along maybe 60 meters away from the entrance.
Okay.
But you're heading towards the kitchen, which is slightly further away.
Val,
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Were there wireless signals coming from the generators? I would have seen them earlier when I was performing Matrix Perception if they were.
No, this is, it's a bit rudimentary still. I mean, it's impressive for what it is, like,
But the,
Middle of Nowhere Barrens, but it's not quite up to something impressive yet.
so there's no wireless on the janitor. Are there wireless on the generators?
There aren't, but there's maybe some wireless on some other features, like the lights, or
Okay, that's what I was looking for, and I'm assuming they don't have shit slave to a host here. It's just freestanding in the Matrix, right?
Yeah. They're not
Okay.
far advanced yet.
Sorry,
Alright,
what time
I'm
is it now?
Stardust calling Johnson. You can get into contact with him. What are you trying to?
I'm going to apprise him of what information we've found thus far, along with the video image from my cyber eyes with the guys, and give him a small sample of the data sampling that I had before, and inform him I have a theory about where the shit came from. Is there more he needs for our payday?
You hear a pause. There shouldn't be a pause because rectangle interface. It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
But there's a few seconds, and it's like if you could keep him there for 10 minutes, I would be greatly appreciative.
80,000 million appreciative?
There's 6 of you, so let's make it. Let me do math. 20, an extra 24,000.
On top of the. All right, I'll put you in touch with my people. I'll see what they think.
Yes.
Guys, he wants us to hold this guy here for 10 minutes. He did not specify the condition that he had to be in. I'm going to check with that. Johnson, back on the line with Johnson. What condition did he have to be in at the end of those 10 minutes?
Functional. I'd say alive, but I don't think he's truly been alive for many years.
Okay, understood. And I'm going to go ahead and pass that information on to my team.
Yes.
Over to the NI. I'm gonna ask if we can just take him somewhere, and instead of just holding here for 10 minutes.
Extract a cyber. Extract a super augmented cyber zombie against his will.
Yeah.
Well, he's still alive.
In a context of very, very happy mutant to think of him almost
like a god. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
So,
oh, that probably pays more for an extraction, if anything.
tell him to get your kit. Wait, the tag is with you, isn't it?
Does everybody here have some kind? This is over the DNI. Does everyone here have some kind of compensation that if I shut off the lights, you'll still be able to see?
Yeah.
I have my master's with me.
Okay. I'm going to guess they've got about the same, but it'll take them at least, a second to turn that shit on. So have yours up on before I take out the lights. Buy us a little bit of time.
all right.
Okay. I think that muzzle flash gives me more than enough light to see by.
So, are you gonna set up a light switch, or just do it kind of as soon as possible?
I'm going to go for a mark on the lighting system, first of all.
Yep. It's a pretty shitty device rating, so you should have no issues getting that. Ha ha ha!
Okay.
Oh, well, that's glorious. Not only because was that a sleaze attempt?
That was a sleaze attempt, yes.
The lights have a mark on you.
Yep, the lights have a mark on me. Were the lights slave to anyone?
No,
Or were they just freestanding? Okay.
lights, but they've got a mark.
I'm going to go for 3 marks at once. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, we'll just go for 2 marks at once. And we'll try that again. And I'll first have my agent assist me first. I keep forgetting to have it do that. No dice from it. So here's to get 2 marks at once. That's a -4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's more dice than it has to defend.
All right. All is good. You have 2 marks on these lights. You can
All right.
pretty much do most functions that lights are possible of doing. So,
Yeah, or I could just break them really easy. And I'm going to erase that mark for the shits and giggles. Actually, I'm not, because that would just raise my Overwatch. There's no point in doing that. Okay, I'm ready to take out the lights. Keep him talking. I'll see if I can hack some of his equipment, so we're ready to brick him or his guys if we need to.
As long as we are nearing the entrance.
well, yeah, I said you guys are relatively close. You're like the kitchen away, so it's
Okay.
60-ish meters. It's not something that you'll be running in a few seconds flat, but
Are this guys Cyber Eyes wireless?
oh, sure, why not?
Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay. We're gonna go for that then. We're gonna go for a mark on them.
These are fancy cyber eyes, though, so
Yep.
they are.
So they roll with their firewall plus his against logic.
Yes.
If I or sorry, plus his intuition.
Do this.
I'm gonna edge that. So I have edge left. Okay, so I got 6 hits.
How much edge do you have left now?
2.
Uh,
I've got what I need though.
Edge checking is a thing. It's a legitimate strategy. Who needs skill when you're lucky?
Right? Well, I'm gonna load up, and I keep forgetting to have my agent assist me, but I'm gonna load up the following program set.
Um,
Oh, cat's paw, not cat's cradle.
you're the closest to the exit, so I'm gonna let you roll audio perception. Chase and Lash, what do you hear by those doors? Right.
Sorry, rolling mine right now.
All right. So, Chase, you hear it well and truly in time to do something. And basically, what you're going to hear is the faint sound of choppers approaching. Well, you've got like maybe because your eyes are pretty keen, your ears are pretty keen. You've heard it like a long time before anyone else. Lur does have his smart linked shotgun on wireless.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna shoot for a mark on that if I have time.
Over the NI, I'm gonna just send a message to everyone saying, guys, choppers. And
Yep.
I want to do a little arrow in the general direction from where I hear the sound coming from. So everyone at least has some general idea of where the choppers are coming.
All right. So you guys know that choppers are coming. You know you're in a mutant commune with a cyber zombie. Nothing could be better.
Yeah. Is it possible to contact the chopper?
The choppers.
Unless the Johnson is inside here.
I mean, yeah. Unless the Johnson's directly inside, and from the sounds of it, he's in some sort of repair vat.
Right then.
Oh, yep.
DI9 the Stardust to tell the Johnson not to harm. We are here to capture.
Mm-hmm. I'll let him know. Yeah, I'm passing it on. Johnson knows that. He made it clear that he wanted this guy captured. Okay, so when things go down, I'm going to be ready to fuck up Lur and Johnson, and the mutant at the same time. Or the cyber zombie at the same time.
Sure, at least for cyber zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else goes for pretty much any of the mutants.
Well, I think Akimbo wants us to go non-lethal on everyone we can.
All right.
Okay.
Choppers.
I'm not going to be...
You guys can start to hear the choppers inside the building.
Okay.
When
Now,
shit,
go on.
shit starts to go off.
Has it been 5 minutes? Has it been 5 minutes since I took that vaporizer when we were first walking out?
I'd say it's getting close.
Okay.
I'm going to roll some random, like 3d6, and that's how many seconds are left on this. So
Okay.
it may last the entire combat. It may fade away.
Yep. Because it takes 5 minutes for that inhaler to kick in.
So wait a minute, I didn't mean to do plus greater than 5. So you have
10.
10 seconds. So this is three rounds effectively before you're going to...
My Zen kicks in.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Initiative time.
That's plenty of time. All right. So, as you guys know about the choppers, you guys can roll the intuition plus reaction and keep all your dice, but everyone else gets a penalty, as effectively it's a surprise round. They don't expect you guys to suddenly flick into motion because you guys have support.
66. Okay. Wait.
You said reaction plus intuition, boss? Gotcha.
For your surprise round, for your surprise initiative.
Yep. No, it's to see if you react. Full stop.
Oh yeah.
Because you need three. Yeah, you need 3 successes to not get surprised in a surprise round.
Okay. Do we get +6 for being prepared to spring the surprise?
Sure. I thought is it +6 or is it the other guys get a penalty?
It's typically a bonus to the people waiting.
Yeah, I thought it was that people initiating the surprise didn't have to roll to be surprised.
They do. You do actually have to roll to initiate the surprise, but you get a +6
All right.
to your roll.
So you guys just a bit short roll +6.
Yep.
So I need to roll for 6 more?
Yep.
Yep.
So hopefully you'll... But of course the cyber zombie is not surprised.
He's not. No, that makes sense.
That makes sense. He was expecting this all along.
Oh crap!
Full touch.
That was
Master.
greater than 4. That was greater than 4, not greater than 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Still got
There.
3.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely there.
I'm super not surprised.
All right, so roll initiative, all non-surprised people, which is all of you guys and cyber zombie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll write that up somewhere. Why am I the old man of Runnerhub who doesn't know how to use things? There we go.
Oh man. Sorry. Susan, but 21.
3 Stardust. JFK 18. Jim 22. Oh, that's Air Spirit. And Chase is also 18. Akimbo's 14.
No, 21.
Oh, because reasons and it's
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay because I'm a fool. Fool. And the Dirty Mutants don't get to act for the first round, but I'll still roll there because they are orged, unfortunately, so they might still be fast-ish. Fast-ish for a set amount of fast. Alright, so they're not really going to beat you guys to the punch because they've only got effectively 5 because they're all surprised.
Mm-hmm. And they can't roll defense until their initiative pass comes up either.
Yes. So you guys should reckon. So, Cyber Zombie goes first. And he's going to go for... As, you know, Geek the Mage is a strong thing, but Geek the Decker is... In light of a mage, he can...
Subdue the Technomancer.
Order goes mage, tech, or whoever has computer on back, whoever is shooting at you.
Yeah. So he's...
My deck technically looks like a giant guitar. It's not immediately recognizable as a deck.
But you kind of look funny. I mean, the other...
I do look funny, and I have big ass cyber legs. I'm either a cyber samurai or a decker. It's one way. Plus, he's a cyber zombie who radiates background count. He probably isn't afraid of the decker or of the adept.
Yeah. So he's gonna, rush at you with his scalpel hands and try and tear you limb from limb. Let's see how this goes. He's gonna try and dissect you.
Okay, I think I might end up going on full defense here.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on full defense here. I'm not that good at dodging things.
Dodge.
So I'm gonna drop my initiative down 10, go on full defense.
Yeah.
I did not need to go on full defense.
You didn't, but he can't touch this. So
I start basically pulling the whole ninja shtick with the cyber legs, dodging and swirling out of his way.
all right. So because I was a fool, I obviously don't know how to control this. Aha! There I go. Here we go. So he's down on initiative. Lash, your move. You're gonna deal with this outside, help your friends in.
No.
Yeah?
Lash is going for the cyber zombie.
Cyber zombie it is.
Remember, we
And-
need him alive.
We're doing what?
We need him alive, remember. He's no
I
good to
know.
us dead. Okay.
I mean, I get to roll 8 less dice, and I don't get to use my weapon focus. So Lash is going to charge with his shock glove, and is just going to go right for the face. And so he takes that -1 for charging, and I am pre-edging this.
All right.
Dodge it.
I feel maybe he should use that NPC edge to not. Oh no, he's. There's no.
The cyber
There's no point. He can get shocked. Let's just zap him. All right, so he's going to get suitably shocked.
That is since I pre-edged, I break limit.
But you don't really get to add your hits to shock gloves, do you? Not to the best of my knowledge. You just have to resist. He just has to resist electricity. And since he's fairly conductive, I'm going to say, I'm going to reduce the defense from his armor by a fair chunk because he's essentially a giant conductor. But he's still a bit hardy. They don't build them cheap. Well, they do build them cheap in as technology, but so
They still build it with quality, damn it.
yeah. So some smoke comes off of him, and he
It doesn't say anything.
It
Shock gloves.
Hmm?
It doesn't say anything about shock gloves not getting that hit.
We've actually had this debate come up before. You can do it one way or the other, but I just don't remember which way they ended up settling on, because one is to represent like trying to punch him, and the other is representing trying to tase him.
Tase him, you don't get to keep the net hits. Punch him, you get to add net hits. And punching, you don't get the shock. So it's because no matter how you touch him, the shock isn't getting any more powerful. I think because it's like a charge thing. So it's like.
But how does that work with things like rules is written hitting someone with stick and shock ammo or hitting them with a taser? Is it basically the same idea? Like you still add net hits in that case?
I don't think you do. I think basically in those.
Stick and shock definitely gets net.
Does it?
Yes, they do. Yes.
All right. Well, in which case, add those net hits, add those glorious 11 net hits, and he is out to count. He is out down.
Aw, I was gonna do all kinds of fun things to his eyes.
Because.
So yeah, Lash just comes in like a bullet from the shadows.
Wait a minute.
And does that like leap with the fist forward and catches him in the face and rides him down.
There is a literal slight. He's still sparking and smoking as we go. Conveniently, the cyber zombie is out. You guys can deal with a couple of dozen mutants in this complex, and just try and survive long enough for the cavalry to arrive. I mean, anywhere.
Well, I'm still on full defense. I'm happy about that. I can try and hit my ass all day.
So, Jim?
Uh-huh.
So what are you doing?
Well, what is the biggest concentration of these mutants around?
Well, there was a small group with Lure of maybe 5 mutants. So there's like Lure and his group, which are, well, one closer a fair chunk of the team, and they're kind of bundled and kind of looking a bit surprised at the moment.
Well, first of all, let's drop all my spells, so no minuses for that. Is the background count still active?
Near him, yes, but that's because he's just... It's not something he's actively doing, it's just he's such a light on astral space, being what he is.
Okay. Let's cast Swarm onto the group of 5. Force 1 pre-edging.
So they roll their will to defend that?
Yes.
I don't imagine them doing super well, because... Alright. So you've got...
Okay, so they all... Well, first of all, what's their willpower?
4.
Okay, so they don't freak out, but they still lose 8 from their initiative.
Which means they are not acting at all this round.
So they are collapsing and freaking out. And now drain. We're good.
Between being surprised and suddenly getting the swarm attack, that group of mutants is out. I mean, there are other mutants in the complex that you will have to eventually worry about, but For now, you guys are mostly fine.
Is Lur still up?
He's down.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, I didn't get to do nothing.
you can still take them out.
I'm a decker. So
I mean, you've got to remember that you're not alone in the complex. You've just taken out
Yeah.
the group of mutants near you. There's a full, thriving community of an unknown number of mutants.
okay.
I should stop calling them mutants and start calling them science projects, but whatever.
So,
So-
is it my turn now?
Yep.
Right. Any other groups?
None in sight, but you can hear shouts, footsteps racing to your position. You know that there's people outside on the car, but you'd have to get to them. So, you guys have some time left to either fortify or whatever until backup arrives.
I'll give me a moment. Just now I use. Is wearing a mask count as a simple device?
I'd say sticking it on counts as like a simple or a simple
Okay, that's fine.
on where you're storing it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just quick draw then.
All right. Try and quick draw in.
Give me a moment.
A ballistic mask is kind of. I wouldn't imagine it's excessively tricky to stick on.
Right, give me a moment. Since I have nimble fingers and rapid draw. Oh, how many dice should I roll again? God damn it.
You have timing.
Yeah. Wait, no.
So agility, take one. But you should have a stupid low threshold for this because it's because of all your bonuses.
Sorry, I just need to count how many dice I have to use.
You've got 8 agility, so 7 dice.
Sorry, what?
You've got 8 agility, so 7 dice. Unless I'm
Okay.
cheap.
76, 5. Of course it is. Ah, god damn it. After attempting to draw my weapons and fail, I'll just have to run outside and
Scream like a girl.
run outside.
How fast do you run?
Yep.
It's 8, so it's 32. So you're like halfway there from the.
Good enough. Is there any cover? Wait, no, that's simple action already. Never mind. My turn is done.
Imagine there's like sofas and stuff in the and the various plants and things that you can hide behind. It's not exactly soft.
But both of my simple actions are done. So
Oh yeah.
next.
Right. Totally fine. Who's next on the list of people doing things? JFK, what are you doing?
All right. I believe what I would like to do. I've been eyeing this building for a while now, and I have isolated a good way to go right through these front doors. So I think I'm just going to rev the engine really loud and wheelie right through the front door, and using my attempt at studying the path that they were taking, try and drive my way through this facility, get as close to our friends as I can, to get at least one of them on the bike, or even better, knock everything out that I see along the way.
Yeah, roll pilot, and every net hit you can take out one mutant. Or stick one person on the bike.
I will take out 5 mutants as I peel through the building.
Excellent. Because they're all shocked. They were not prepared for this. I mean, they may look like hideous monsters, but at the heart of it, they're simple farmers.
Yep.
They were not expecting an orc to come tearing through the front door on a Harley Davidson with a submachine gun in one hand.
You know, with music blaring out. Because action hero is the only way to do this.
That's exactly right.
Alright. So you are by your friends with your bike. And there are 5 extra mutants that are not getting up anytime soon.
Are we still on the first combat turn?
We are, and it's finally Chase.
Is the cyber zombie still sparking, or does it look like it would be safe to grab him?
It'd be relatively safe. I mean, the sparking is mainly like his electronics being overworked. It's not like he's still conducting electricity.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was afraid of. Then I just want to approach him, try to grab him and start dragging him towards the exit. Or at least closer to the exit.
Alright. You can start moving him towards the exit, all too easy. How fast do you move?
Running, I can do 28 meters in a combat turn.
Alright, because he's got wheels, there's no resistance.
Okay.
Roll right with you. You are pretty much halfway to the exit.
Okay.
And because that bike took out like the 5 guys sitting around outside, smoking and drinking near the car, you don't have to worry about too much resistance from that direction. Alright,
Okay.
Sparta, it's on you.
Okay, so just to be clear, what exactly has happened?
What exactly has happened? Mage has caused the few mutants near you to be effective negatively in their initiative-wise, and they're surprised. So they're effectively not acting. They're not to count. They're just not acting.
Okay, and Johnny's driving around on a motorcycle, running people over, and the cyber zombie and Lur are down, right?
The cyber zombie's down, but Lur is in the not acting crowd. He's
still upright, is what you're telling me.
He's I think Swarm, if you hit 0 initiative, he's prone. So
Okay, but yeah, he's not. Okay, he hasn't been incapacitated yet, is what you're telling me.
he could get back up after this
Okay,
if your rolls well
so
enough initiative.
I think we wanted him a lot. We wanted to minimize casualties to him. So what I'm going to do is, seeing as I have a mark on him, I'm going to load up Cat's Paw, and he has a smart gun. Is that linked to a pair of eyes, cyber eyes or something like that?
Yeah, you can mess with his eyes.
Yep, I'm going to hit his gun and his eyes with a Cat's Paw data spike.
Alright. This will be unpleasant.
Yep. Oh, I don't...
For those of us who don't know, what does Cat's Paw do to a data spike?
It makes it so the data spike doesn't do damage, but every attempt to do anything with that equipment takes a huge dice penalty based on how many marks I have.
Oh!
So effectively, he's taking a 12 dice penalty with anything to relate to his eyes.
Or his gun.
Or his gun. So they are effectively out of commission. I mean, Lurk,
Yeah, as I just...
Lurk can snip oddly with his one claw hand, but he's not going to be able to shoot anything, and he's kind of effectively blind.
Yeah, I'm just overloading him with sensory information, false sensor readings, add pop-ups, ads, arrows, all that shit. And because I have lockdown up, he can't turn the wireless off or turn those devices off. They're locked up.
Alright, so you see Lur's 3 cybernetic eyes kind of just pop with like it's not literally exploding. They're like lots of.
There's shit flashing on the screen very fast.
It's just glowing effectively. It's too much information too fast. Like normally you can see that like faint glow in the
Yeah.
sky, but it's just like full on. It could light up a dim room. It's too much too fast.
So
All right.
yeah, he's not going to be doing much.
So Stardust, you're out. Cyber Zombie is out. Lash, what are you doing with your remaining time? I mean,
Well, we've got a bunch of mutants surrounding us. My lift carry is awful. Otherwise, I would start pulling the cyber zombie outside.
Don't do that.
I'm already doing that.
Just leave him there for the guys in the scary black helicopters to pick up. We want to be out of here before the helicopters arrive, and Johnson realizes he can just have them kill us and not pay us.
Yeah, but Chase is already halfway towards the exit with Cyber Zombie, in case no one noticed.
well, there's
Alright, I get-
a car out there, so maybe getting to the car could be a thing that people could consider. But
Yep. Oh, with my movement, that is what I was also going to do, is start running over that way.
yep. So you could take out a few mutants, run. I mean, because they don't act at all this turn, anything done to them this turn, they don't get to defend against.
Alright, well, I guess I'm going to go split dice pool and try to take out two mutants with my shock glove.
Yeah. Alright, so that's one mutant getting zapped. So he's on the ground, withering, writhing, and scratching himself, and then suddenly he's fried, and he's not moving quite as much.
Well, I'm hitting 2 different mutants.
And the other one is also fried. So you've just gone down and gone, shh, sleep now. Yeah, they seem a bit more relaxed than they were before. If they're slightly singed, so be it.
And Lash is just running around punching things.
You know, a bit of the second mutant kind of sticks with you as the skin's a bit goopy, but you know, live and let live.
Okay, the shadows guy, everyone can hear trumpet blaring out Lash's headphones.
Jim, you've done your magical shenanigan, which effectively shut down the group. Do you have any cunning plan to get out of there before the helicopters get in, or?
Well, the best I can do is levitate our man so we can move him faster.
That's probably a good idea.
He's probably
Okay.
will be taking a penalty equal to his essence loss. And those cyber zombies are in negative essence. That may be well over 6.
Levitate is not an essence spell.
No, I'm just thinking because he's kind of more machine now than man. It's like trying to levitate a very complex mechanical device.
What, I thought manipulation was just body plus strength, or basically he has object resistance.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's where I'm going with this. I'm thinking maybe because he's just so mechanical.
That would add to his resistance dice, not the not
Okay.
subtraction die.
Do it.
Well, how about I levitate the coffee table and you can put him down on that?
Do it.
And drain. We're good.
All right. Is levitate actually going to be any faster? As levitate moves a number of meters a second,
6 meters per second. It's pretty fast.
but remember, there's no penalty to just pulling him along whilst you run because he's got wheels.
But now Akimbo can also fire guns and do shit. He doesn't have to worry about carrying the guy.
Yep.
It's a legitimate concern. And you guys don't need to get him out of here when you guys get out of here. You just passing him on.
Correct. They want to get him out though, so it's the reason.
Akimbo? What if
Rapid,
what-
quick draw my weapons.
Yeah.
Which is a success. I have 2 guns in my hand right now, and let's consider a free action. How many people are there at my car?
At your car,
Yes.
there are 5 corpses. They all got kind of motorbikes,
Oh, so they're down.
but there's, I mean, you can shoot 4 of the writhing mutants right here, right now, also on the floor.
Right. So
Or you could, I don't know. You're lim-
anyone in a group right now?
Well, the 4 writhing mutants. There's no one left in this part of the complex quite now, but I imagine you might get joined soonish.
Then I take cover and aim. Just take cover.
Right? So you can get behind something pretty hefty like a power generator, and that can
Okay.
most of your body except for maybe your head or something. Whatever you're looking at with.
Just to confirm, I'm outside, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Then run outside.
You're gonna run as close as you can.
Yeah. Then take cover.
JFK. Your last round is combat tone.
Yep.
Any particular plans beyond living the sweet life? Maybe stick someone on your bike to hurry them out, or
I was thinking maybe I might want to try and throw that zombie on the back of my bike if we were determined to get him out of here. My other idea was to basically tear through the building on the motorcycle, taking out all the mutants I could find.
John, we don't.
Go ahead.
Stardust is going to express his feeling that killing the mutants isn't really a priority, and that leaving the Johnson behind, maybe just getting us on the bike and getting us out of here is the step to take.
Well, are you small enough to fit? Because I'm pretty big, but I got room for 1 on this thing.
I could use a ride, yes.
I'm going to allow you to fit as many people as you want, but each one has to take a gymnastics test beyond the second, equal to how many people are already on the.
Yeah, I'm getting on there first.
Yeah. So you could definitely fill this bike up and do some of those human pyramids on the bikes, like you see in those fancy shows, if you want.
Well,
I was thinking more of taking like the smallest one and like throwing them in like not like a headlock, but just around the waist and hold on to them with 1 arm, so I can still drive the bike.
All right.
Well, technically seats one, so its max speed goes down by 1 for every other person than yourself that's on there. So like 2 of us is probably best, but you could fit all of us on there,
I can
hypothetically
fit 3
speaking.
of you on here.
You know, I drove here, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm just getting on Johnny's bike.
All right. Johnny,
Anybody else? Because the train is leaving. I will delay
I'm
my
going to my
action
car. I'm not leaving it there.
till the end of the initiative order, so that way if anybody else is going to hop on, they can.
Lash is just gonna run to his own bike.
I mean, you guys live in the world of direct neural interface. If your vehicles have some sort of auto drive, they can drive to you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
like
drive my own
last-
car. Yeah,
Combination of ordering his bike to get to him and running to it,
Oh,
and then hopping on
Likewise.
and stealing out.
Mm-hmm. And
likewise.
I'm riding out with Johnny.
Tracy's probably just gonna send the bike ahead because it kind of wants to just pull off some gymnastics backflip and land on Johnny's bike and just ride off with the other two. Because why the hell not? If he's gonna, if he's considering tearing through the complex, shooting a few mutants, and I'm still hoping that's gonna happen, he wants to be a part of that.
excellent.
Okay.
So I'm actually just gonna pre-edge the gymnastics roll for extra flair. And then
Mutants had nothing to do with this. They're just a bunch of,
All right.
techno singularity seekers. I'm sure after this guy, they'll find their next hit. Or they'll all die horribly. One way or the other.
You
It's
don't think
definitely-
fourth dimensionally, bud. We got to leave these guys unconscious. That way they got plenty of things to worry about trying to haul out of here with their experiments. So they're busy with those and not us.
Yep.
All right.
Darwinism, it's beautiful.
I've rolled my gymnastics for the backflip onto the bike.
Excellent. All right. You guys are more or less on this bike. I think Lash and Jim and Akimbo can do one last thing, but not really run again. But
Call the car to my area, to my place. I get inside and drive away.
leaving everyone behind.
Well, if everyone's leaving right now.
Some people still need to get into vehicles, but
I think we're
we're good.
getting there. I'm on Johnny's bike, which is cool by me, and I was the only one that didn't have a vehicle.
All right. So I'm more or less saying, because things have simmered down, you guys are well and truly going to get out. I mean, you guys are going to see after, as you guys start riding out of the building, for the most part, that there's a horde of angry mutants pouring through various crevices towards you, but they're not going to be able to catch you. Bigger threat is a bunch of helicopters firing rain down on the mutants as bullets just pour into the building as various teams swivel down to collect the doctor.
Yeah, well, that happened. We never speak of this to anyone.
Except Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Johnson.
What, the big fragging horde of mutants back there? Are you kidding me?
Oh well.
All right. Yeah, so you can see like the motionless mechanical body just being like lifted up into one of the helicopters.
It occurs to me that we never discussed setting up any kind of escrow for payment.
It occurred to me we never even verified that those choppers were on Johnson's side.
Oh yeah, no, that also thought to me. That also occurred to me, but wasn't overly concerned about that one.
We did well enough. We saw what happened.
It didn't occur to Lash because it's not in Lash's job description to discuss escrow or more money. It's in Lash's job description to lop off heads with a whip.
I'm more of
Same.
combat.
That's why I'm here. I do one thing. I do it fairly well. kill. That's about what I do.
Alright. Please gone well. Everyone is relatively happy. You guys need to just talk to work out where you're going to get paid.
Sorry, I can't hear you. You're
Yeah,
too
I
low.
can't.
Sorry,
breaking it.
I can't hear you at all.
I was just picking up a drink. You guys just need to talk to the J, work out how you're going to get paid, maybe where, and ride out profitably.
Wireless transfer over jackpoint seems to work for me.
That doesn't seem like a bad idea. Although, what is that again? Because Johnny don't know. I do, but he don't.
You know, money over the Matrix, it's a thing. It's been around for a while.
That of course that's a thing, but using these fancy words and shit, why couldn't you just say that?
Everyone has a sort of a street lifestyle. You guys have bank accounts.
Pretty sure I just did, bro.
Sorry, I seriously can't hear you right now.
As long as everyone's got doesn't have a squatter or a street lifestyle, you have bank accounts that you can transfer things into.
Mine's low.
Yeah, same here.
All right, so that I think that covers everyone. So let me just divide this fancy new yen by 6, as I don't want to do math. So I think it's 14k each, which is all right. And you guys are then getting a sweet 5 karma reward.
What was the name of this run again?
Science fiction movie. Friday night science fiction feature.
Friday night science fiction show.
Based off those like terrible. Have you ever like? I had a terrible local cinema, and every Friday night they show a B or C grade movie for like nothing.
Yep, we still have that in the town that I'm going to.
Yeah, so I based it off one of those terrible movies that I watched the other night.
Nice. There's a theater in town over that does Kung Fu Movie Tuesdays. I've been meaning to catch one of those, and now that I'm not working, I totally can. They even sell beer there.
Such conspiracy.
Sorry about the haphazard nature of the run. I kind of didn't put as much planning into it because more people were super excited about the state run. I was like,
Oh no, it was really well done. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had fun.
It was weird.
Jenny, if you guys want me for any like dice rolling to see if you can get things, or
Nah, I've got another run tomorrow when that's when I'm gonna have enough money to actually buy the shit I need.
Sorry, can you write down the rewards?
Yep. I'll just write that down. Yeah.
I'm out, gentlemen. I had a blast.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
man.
game.
You have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yep. I'm just sticking it in the Roll20 typey thing because my computer's old and hot, and after too long of Skype, I can't actually get back into the Skype text menu unless my Skype crashes. It's terrible.
Ooh, rough.
Well, the it's a laptop, for one, and it's 7 years old.
Oh.
So it's surprising it's still alive at all, really.
That is kind of a surprise, yeah. I got a PC that's about that old, but I've ripped this thing apart and put new stuff into it a good half a dozen times by now.
Yeah, this is a bit on spare parts, but they're not spare computer parts. They're like, this is some spare wiring from a dead toaster. So yeah, the screen got disconnected because some of the wires just wore away from age, and so I had to replace the wiring and that kind of thing. That's but it works, and that's all that matters.
That is what matters.
Until soon as I've got a new fancy job and I'll have lots of money and I'll get myself a real computer again.
I would like to have myself a new job and all that fancy money as well. That would be nice.
Likewise.
Hey, like I said, you move to New York, I can get you a job at any restaurant you want.
No shit. I went to culinary school. I may take you up on that.
I know, we've actually had this